Alright, welcome to part 4B of GRC 33 Flash for Web Navigation from scratch. In the previous tutorial 4A, we learned how to load up our content using a embedded symbol with multiple frames, each frame representing a pseudo page of that content. And today, right now in this 4B, we're going to learn how to use the UI loader component to load up an external SWF file for each page of our website. So before we get started or move anywhere near forward, we need to create the SWF files that we're going to be loading up. So we know that our navigation is home, about us, and contact us. So we're going to make 3 SWF files that will then be loading up into this Flash website. So first thing we're going to do is create a new Flash file, ActionScript 3. And we're going to save this as, and make sure it goes into the folder that has your parent FLA file, otherwise it will not be able to find them. And this one's going to be called home.fla. And to simplify things, we're actually going to say home_btn.fla. That's going to be the name of the home page. So go and choose save. And we're going to drop a text box on this. This is the home page. Alright. Save that. Should probably spell home correctly. Though phonetically I think that works. And we're going to publish this to a SWF file. So the first thing we want to do is check our publish settings, because we do not want to publish an HTML file, just the SWF. So we uncheck HTML, and on mine you can't see it, so I'm just going to hit OK to save my settings, and then I'm going to choose publish, and that will publish the SWF file. Alright. Now I'm going to save this as about. And just for fun, we're going to put a rectangle. I know, that's like out of control fun. And we'll publish that. And because we've already changed the publish settings and we're not creating a new file, it will retain those publish settings. And so we're going to save as again, and this time we're going to call it contact. Okay. And get rid of that stroke, and we're going to change the color of this. I know, crazy. File and publish. Alright, cool. So we're good to go with that. So now we'll go back, close this guy here, and just to make sure we're on the right page, we need to look at our folder just to make sure that those SWFs went in there. There's about, contact, and home. And if you have Flash installed on your computer, which you should be if you're running through this tutorial, you can actually open up one of those SWF files and play it, and it will show it. And that's it. Close that out. Alright, now let's talk about the action script here. Before we do that though, we need to create a new layer because we have to have some place for our content to go. So make a new layer, call it content, and just like in the previous example, we're going to drag this down underneath navigation. But we're going to use the components here to accomplish some really cool stuff. And it's all done behind the scenes, so we don't have to action script hardly anything. We're going to drag a UI loader component, and bringing up the components panel is just a matter of choosing window and then components. And we're going to drag a UI loader component onto the stage. put it in the upper left-hand corner, and we're going to make it 550 pixels wide by 400 pixels high. And let's move our navigation up and to the left there. Alright, cool. And because this is a stage object, we need to give it an instance name. Let's call it Loady. I don't think that's a protected keyword. And just to give you an example of how this works, with this UI loader selected, you can open up the component inspector and set the source to home_btn.swf. And when you test your movie, it doesn't work. Okay, one minor oversight. When we resized our document here, we are actually scaling up the content that's getting loaded in. So with the UI loader selected and opening the component inspector panel, we want to make sure and set scale content to be false. It usually defaults to true, but we want to set it to false. And now when we test, right off the bat, we get our homepage content. And you can't see it, but it is filling up this whole page here. Alright, now let's use ActionScript to accomplish the same thing, bringing in our Actions panel here. And we're not going to trace this. What we're going to do is set the source property of Loady. Loady is a UI loader component, and it has a property called source, which when set, sets a whole chain of functions in operation that go out, find the file, load the file. Once the file is loaded, then it displays it in the window. It's a very cool thing. So all we need to do is set it to be the name of the file that we want to load. Now, we've named our files homebutton.swf, aboutbutton.swf, contactbutton.swf, and consequently it's the same as the instance name of the button that's going to be clicked. So really all we need to do is add on to that the .swf. target parent name is going to equate to home button if this is the button that's clicked. target parent name is going to equate to about button if this is the button that's clicked. And so if we tag on .swf, then that's how it knows to grab that file. If we don't tag on SWF, there's no file that's named home_btn with no extension. It has the .swf, and that's why we add this little plus sign there that concatenates this value with this value. So let's test it. Let's see if it works. About us. Yeah, this is the about page. Contact us. This is the contact page. Pretty sweet. Very excited. And it's working. And just to show you, we can go back to home from one of the other pages, and it's loading up the home page still. But the nice thing about setting that source is that it automatically loads up the first page that we want it to be on. And that is it. Thank you very much.